My name is Raghav and I want to talk about Sinners. Sinners is a 2025 American musical horror film produced, written and directed by Ryan Coogler of Black Panther fame. This movie is absolutely gorgeous. It's got amazing vistas, great sets, gorgeous colors and fantastic frames. There are at least two oneers in here that are absolutely brilliant, and both for different reasons. One just for its sheer scale, perfect framing, grounded portrayals, and great sets. And the other for its fantastical imagery, visual trickery that creates a grand out-of-body experience. If you don't do anything else, please watch this movie in theaters, preferably in IMAX. Believe me when I say this, it's worth it. Set in 1932 in the Mississippi Delta, this film stars Michael B. Jordan in dual roles as twin brothers who return to their hometown to start again after a shady stint in Chicago. I've never been a huge fan of Michael B. Jordan. I acknowledge that he's a good actor, but he never really wowed me. This time, I'm eating my words. These two characters are embodied so well by Jordan. They're similar yet different enough, and you can see that he's having so much fun with these portrayals. The rest of the cast is similarly strong and well chosen for their specific roles. Newcomer Miles Caton owns his role as Preacher Boy, and when he sings, you best believe he's got the voice of a goddamn angel. Sinners is set in the Jim Crow era of American history, and it has been so refreshingly represented. I absolutely loved watching this movie. Asian characters are speaking with southern accents, not stereotypical Asian accents. There's joy and love and fun and music, which is such a big part of this time period. The art, the architecture, costumes, colors are all so well blended together, it almost feels effortless. There's a small amount of camp in the portrayal visually, but it's done tastefully enough that it feels more like love than caricature. This is a long movie, clocking in at 2 hours 17 minutes, but honestly, it doesn't overstay its welcome at all. You barely notice that the main premise of the film hasn't even started like an hour and a half into the plot. You've just been watching this world unfold in front of you. All the characters are so beautifully developed, and they all get some form of conclusion, one way or the other. Look, I can't talk about the rest of the movie without spoilers, so spoiler alert. The world around the vampires is so cool. It's only barely hinted at, but whatever you get creates such a great environment for them to inhabit, and they look oh so amazing. The allegory of vampires as the co-opting of black culture and specifically jazz music is really well done. Especially in the way that the vampire philosophy is actually somewhat convincing when you think about how it would lead to a tipping of the scales and an end to the vulnerability of an oppressed class. Until you stop and think for a second and realize that it comes with the complete erasure of culture and individuality of said group, and that in some ways assimilation could be a fate worse than annihilation. What a beautiful choice to go minimal with the portrayal of the vampires. The only way to describe them is hungry. Their bared, sharp teeth, drool, and that red glint in their eyes makes them so menacing, you don't need to do anything more to them. There's this great scene where Haley Steinfeld's character turns away from them, and the main vampire just floats up in the air for like a second or two, and it cuts away. Goddamn, that was scary. That is some effective filmmaking. The second half of the movie reminded me a lot of From Dusk Till Dawn, directed by Robert Rodriguez. But besides the premise and tone shift, these films couldn't be further apart. Sinners has depth and soul and is a very grounded affair, even with its fantastical elements. While From Dusk Till Dawn is a true blue B-movie with more production value than its plot is worth. It kind of functions as two half movies with a major tone shift between the two, and although a radical tone shift can actually be very effective storytelling, Bong Joon-ho is one director very well known for his massive shifts in tone in his pictures. The difference is that the tone shift continues to serve the themes of the movie, and the story still feels complete. In Dusk, we go from a somewhat gritty, serious hostage situation to the most campy, unserious horror comedy hijinks movie I've ever seen. And all that plot and character development that we've had so far goes right out the window. There's also a general non-committal feeling in the movie, especially evident in that second half. I can see that there's an element of philosophy of like whatever human conflicts you have go out of the window when faced with the question of survival. And I get that, but you could still have that without completely abandoning the stakes you set up in the first half without leaving the audience hanging. Sinners is a great example of how to do that right, where From Dusk Till Dawn completely abandons any exploration of emotional conflict, opting instead for a fun prosthetics and gore fest. Sinners gives you that deep look into the realities of loving your family even when they do things that are despicable. The obligation one has to your kin and how to live with a monster and how to reconcile with yourself. The movie doesn't compromise on the supernatural action, but it also has a beating heart. I'm not hating on From Dusk Till Dawn, by the way. That is a great movie. But Sinners is just a different beast, and it's an interesting comparison on how different sensibilities can approach similar subject matter. Sinners is stylish and fun, thoughtful and beautiful, and also, and I say this in the best possible sense, so horny. Now, if that's not a good enough reason to get you to go watch this movie, I don't know what is. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel and leave a comment letting me know which movie you think I should check out next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.